What's going on, guys? It's your boy back at it again with a brand new video, and yeah, I'm like I said, I'm back. A couple of things that have changed. As you can tell, this is the new place. This is the new place I'm living. I don't have any Blu-ray shelves right now, so they're all just sort of my DVDs and Blu-rays are all stacked behind me here. People are going to be like, I can't believe that you're doing that, and well, I don't have enough money to buy a big like media shelf right now, so here we have all our Blu-rays, and this will be the background for a little time being. And this is a new, also what's new is this new video series that I'm going to be starting. So I've moved into a place and I've got a 4K TV, and now I've got a 4K TV to go with my 4K player. I'm actually going to start working through some of my 4K titles that are in my collections that I haven't seen on the 4K discs, films that I haven't seen that I've exclusively bought on 4K that I want to be working through, and then some that I have bought and I have wanted to buy specifically because people say they're really good films on 4K discs. So this sort of series is me working through those titles in my collection and giving you a review of what I think of them. So as you can tell, here we go. This is the small pile of films that I've got here. That is got 6 titles here that I want to talk about. Some are new films that I haven't seen, and some films I have seen before and then seeing them for the first time on 4K. Yeah, let's just get right into it. So first is a big Warner Brothers release that everyone always says that is one of the best 4K discs out there, and I happen to agree with them, and that is Blade Runner. The final cut, and I finally got round to watching this. I felt like watching this because I don't own Blade Runner 2049, but I did watch a essay video about 2049, and it made me feel like, cool, I really fancy going back and giving the first Blade Runner another go, and that's what I did. And my god, and I've said it before, Warner Brothers absolutely smash it out of the park with their 4Ks. The colours look absolutely fantastic in this. The transfer itself is phenomenal all the way through, pretty much. There's a few points here and there, mainly when the film does these slow-mo effects, like when the main villain dies at the end, which is a spoiler. But no, overall, it is a fantastic transfer. Massive highlight has got to be when you see the Tyrell building, and you just see it's so clean. Like, I just can't believe it. I look at it and I'm like, was that not shot today? Like, in today's modern day? But it wasn't. It was shot back in the 80s. And yeah, fantastic. It looks absolutely incredible. Sound on this disc is also phenomenal as well. Like, it's just a really good disc. It's one of those ones that I'm really happy to have upgraded from the Blu-ray to 4K. Even if I hadn't seen the Blu-ray. No, it's in the 4K, sorry. I had seen the Blu-ray. Blu-ray was really good, but the 4K disc absolutely knocks it out of the park. Like I said, there's only a few moments where I think to myself, cool, no, that really dipped there. But for basically 98% of this movie is absolutely phenomenal. It looks so good and so clean. Like, all the city shots, like when you see, like, the fact that you can see like people sweating like so clearly, it's absolutely phenomenal. I just can't believe it. Like, I couldn't believe I said that about this film. Like, I can't believe how impressed I am seeing people sweat in a movie. But here we are. Blade Runner, the final cut, is an absolutely must-have on 4K. If you love this movie, and if you don't have the 4K transfer from Warner Brothers, what are you doing? Go out of your way and go get it. And that slip, minus the ring light, is absolutely phenomenal. It's so good. It's probably one of the best discs I've ever seen. The movie itself is absolutely phenomenal. It talks about one of the greatest sci-fi movies of all time. I rate it a 5 out of 5. It was absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely love it. The score is beautiful. The acting's fantastic. It's shot beautifully. It's edited really well. Yeah, honestly, a great movie. For sci-fi lovers, I would really recommend getting this film on 4K. It's brilliant. Now, a movie that I've been told to watch, there was this guy at uni called Ketis, and he wanted us to watch this movie, and I never got round to it. I bought the 4K for it because I really wanted to watch it, and I actually spent an evening in this house on my own, and I thought I'd get round to watching it when no one was in, because it's a very anxiety-induced movie, and that is Requiem for a Dream. Darren Aronofsky, I think that's how you say his name, who did The Fountain, Black Swan, Mother. This movie is fucking depressing, to say the least. It's well made. It's a beautiful piece of cinema, if you ask me. Again, I was absolutely blown away by it. This movie follows 4 people who are young people who are meth addicts, and an old lady who plays Jared Leto's mum in this film, who is Ellen Burstyn. Can't say her name, but she is phenomenal in this film, and she plays an old lady who gets a call from a television program saying that she's going to be on there, and she wants to wear this red dress that she wore to her son's graduation, and she can't fit into it, and then she tries dieting, doesn't work, as she ends up taking pills, which are basically uppers. Whereas they're all on downers, she's on uppers, and it's the way that this film shows the free fall of all of these addicts' lives is absolutely insane. Like, the use of music is absolutely horrifying. It's really well, like, it's very interestingly made, I must admit. Like, some great editing techniques, and some really nice use of time-lapse use of this, like when she's cleaning the flat. Absolutely incredible. But like, no, the last 20 minutes of this film, the third act, is absolutely fucking harrowing. It made me so depressed. I went on a walk for two hours afterwards, because it really just shone a light back on my life, and it just really just sat with me for that long, and made me take into appreciation of the people I have in my life and stuff like that. Because this is a tale of people who are on the path to happiness, and how they can achieve that, and how it aggressively declines. The free fall from where they all were. They were all in a positive spot, and just the free fall is absolutely terrifying to watch, I must admit. Watching Jared Leto and Jennifer Connelly's relationship fall apart, watching Marlon Wayne's life fall apart, as well as Ellen's life fall apart, it's absolutely harrowing stuff. It is a really intense watch, and no spoiler-free review can really prepare you. Not even a spoiler review can really prepare you for this movie. It is a very hard watch, and probably isn't for everyone, but at the same time, for me personally, and the sort of person I am, it really was for me. And but yeah, no, it was really hard to watch. It's going to be a while before I go back and watch this, but it was a fantastic movie. Lionsgate did a really good job in this release. I would give a shout out to everyone, was really great in this. Marlon Wayans, it was nice to see him do a serious performance. I'd only seen him in comedies, but Ellen blew out of the park. She deserved an Oscar for this movie, and it's a shame that she got snuffed for it. But yeah, no, Requiem for a Dream on 4K is also very good. This is the 20th anniversary director's cut. Very intense movie, but still very well made art house film. If you say that, probably art house is the wrong term for it, but yeah, it's still really good. Another Jennifer Connelly film, and that is the Arrow release of Phenomena, which is again on the 4K. This is the limited edition. I watched the Italian version, the 116-minute version, and I must say this film really lost me in a lot of places. I think it was a bit like, I was like, It had some great themes and some great like ideas into it. But at the same time, I think the execution-wise was just done very poorly. Like, I like the idea of Jennifer Connelly's character. She can talk to insects and stuff like that. And there's a murderer going around where she's abroad because her dad is a famous actor and stuff like that. She has to go to this school. Yeah, but with the twists and turns, I like the twists and turns in some ways, but in some ways, they're just the ways we get to those parts, like we get to the ending and all the reveal. I'm just like, was that really justified? I don't think it was in a lot of ways. Yeah, it was a bit weird, and the soundtrack by Goblin I like the soundtrack, but at times in this movie it just doesn't work, and it really takes you out of the film. Like, I just think to myself, that really wasn't needed. Like, why have we got this soundtrack in this movie? No, young Jennifer Connelly, still very good. Surprised I didn't expect not Samuel Loomis, that's the character he plays. Donald Pleasance to be in this movie also. Yeah, but the transfer was really good. It's very colourful in a lot of places because it's set in the Swiss Alps, I think it is. But either way, the mountainside is really beautiful. The greens and all the colour pops really well. It looks very good. But overall, the movie itself is quite weak in my opinion. This is the weakest Argento film I have seen, and I'm really not that big of a fan. But I'm keeping this edition because it has 3 cuts of the movie on it, and I'm going to give the 110-minute cut, and then there's an 82-minute cut as well, so I want to give both of those a watch and see if I prefer the movie any more to that. But you know, the transfer is really good. Arrow did a very good job on their 4K transfer. Just overall, the movie isn't that strong for me, and I'm not really that big of a fan. But you know, that's Dario Argento's Phenomena. There it is on the normal disc as well. But yeah, Phenomena. Another Warner Brothers disc here by one of my favourite director of all time, Stanley Kubrick, and I fancy just really watching this after I'd watched another video essay, and that is 2001: A Space Odyssey. My God, is this movie fantastic on 4K. It looks incredible. It is such a good 4K disc. Warner Bros. Do an amazing job with the Stanley Kubrick films like The Shining and Full Metal Jacket, and this was no exception. This was absolutely phenomenal from start to finish. I know it's a bit of a drag for some people because the human characters are not the main, are just insignificant to the plot. It's the actual fear of space and the unknown and stuff like that. Fantastic. I absolutely adore this movie. I really enjoyed this time. The 2.5 hours experience is really great. The music is fantastic. Just the pacing itself is incredible. It's just, I really enjoy it just as a whole, but it just looks so good. So good. I just can't express to you how amazing this 4K disc is. I would recommend it if you haven't. If you're a fan of 2001 and haven't upgraded to 4K, what are you doing? It is a must-have in the collection. I can't disagree, because it's just so good. So good. It's just wow. It's phenomenal. Please, for the love of God, go get this. That last half an hour as well is so trippy. Oh, incredible movie. Absolutely adore 2001: A Space Odyssey, and I'm really glad to have it in my collection. I'm glad to have now experienced it in 4K, because I really want to give it another rewatch, because that's how much I enjoyed it. I love Kubrick, and this movie was fantastic. 2001: A Space Odyssey, would really recommend getting this on 4K. I'm annoyed it didn't come with a slipcover, but what are you going to do? I picked this up about 2 months ago, but I finally got around to it, and that is The Town, directed by Ben Affleck, starring Ben Affleck and Rebecca Hill, Jeremy Renner. It's a fantastic heist crime thriller movie. A lot of people were really recommending me this film, and I finally got around to it. I remember watching the trailer for it on one of the DVDs that I had years and years ago, and just giving this a go finally, I was absolutely blown away by how amazing this is. I watched the theatrical cut, which is 125 minutes. The director's cut is 153 minutes, so I'm going to have to go back and give that a watch, see what that's like. But no, yeah, this movie did look a bit, some might say it looked a bit bland. When I say bland, it's like it's not very colourful in a lot of places, but at the same time, it doesn't overly take away from how good the movie is. Like, the transfer is done really well. Like, it looks clean all the way through. There's not too much grain or anything like that, and there's no shots where you think to yourself, "Oh no. It's not bad, not very good." But I think mainly because this is all practical effects and all, like, it's actually things in front of the camera, so it makes it look really good. The actual movie itself obviously follows a bunch of people who are bank robbers, and yeah, and it's just their escalation into trying to be caught and making more jobs, and then Ben Affleck's character falling in love with Rebecca Hill's character as well, Rebecca Hall, sorry. And yeah, no, it's really good. I think the transfer is really well done, and for only picking this up for $14.99, I really can't complain, to be fair. Jeremy Renner plays a really villain in this. I can't lie to you. This is like the first time I've ever seen him as a villainous role, and it really blew me away. I really enjoy him as this character from Charlottetown. Is it Charlottetown? Charlestown. It's Charlestown. Charleston, sorry. I should say Charleston. But no, yeah, it's really well done. I would really recommend getting The Town if you're a fan of crime movies, thrillers, actions, all that jazz. It's really good. It's really well acted as well. Ben Affleck's, I think, he's got quite a high-pitched voice, so it kind of slips just a teeny bit, but overall, I still really enjoy this. Couldn't help but go, I'm Batman in most of in a fair bit of this movie, because, yeah, he was Batman, and I've noticed that with all stuff now, with, like, Robert Pattinson, George Clooney, fucking Christian Bale, Michael Keaton, just I keep going, I'm Batman. Yeah, but no, I really recommend The Town, and this is only $14.99 brand new in HMV, and yeah, it was nice to have it with a slip also. Really appreciate that, but The Town was pretty good. And finally, another big classic movie from the 60s, another Kubrick film, and that is Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. And I was really excited about this movie going into this. I heard this was really good, and Peter Sellers is supposed to be like the Daniel Day-Lewis of his time, playing 3 roles. This guy on the front as well, he's a Nazi scientist, whatever, but yeah, it was alright, to be fair. I wasn't really overly blown away by it. It was very funny in a lot of places. It's supposed to be a dark comedy in a lot of ways, and it did make me laugh. It really did make me laugh in a lot of ways. George C. Scott, who I've seen from The Exorcist 3, he was incredible in this film. He really made me laugh. And Peter Sellers, at a lot of time, did, for 2 of his characters, I really liked. I didn't really like him as this character. I don't know, the Nazi jokes weren't really landing. I get that he's one of these secret ones that have, like, obviously been taken from the war and stuff like that. Just, his accent was really just hammy, and I just didn't really like it. So yeah, I rate it above average, but at the same time, this is one of the weaker Kubrick films that I've seen. Also, this is a Sony transfer. Yeah, so I don't know if the Criterion release is better than this, but at the same time, yeah, this wasn't overly impressive, I must admit. There also some shots look really good when they were doing some close-up shots, but overall, I just wasn't that blown away by it. But as a movie and the transfer, so I was really disappointed by that. I mean, I still enjoy it. I still think it's above average for a '60s movie. Had a lot to say about it, and it was really funny. But at the same time, it couldn't save it for me. I can't rate it any bet higher than a 3 out of 5. I must admit, which is still above average. But no, yeah, it just really wasn't for me. Maybe I'll have to give it a rewatch. I absolutely love Kubrick, but this one just didn't land for me as well as his other films. But yeah, that is Doctor Strangelove. Yeah, I'm probably gonna say this is probably the weakest 4K transfer that I've seen of the ones that I've talked about. But this isn't the weakest film. This is probably the second weakest film for me, above Phenomena. But yeah, still not saying that I don't enjoy it. But yeah, that's Doctor Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. Guys, I hope you did enjoy. I've been watching some more 4Ks. I've got a pile down there under my TV of 4K titles that I have been watching this week, which will be released next week, of what I've been watching. So hopefully you enjoy the series and you'll get to talk to me about stuff that I've seen. What discs of any of these films that you've seen on 4K? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments. Are there any 4K discs that maybe you can see in this pile that you think I should watch that I haven't seen, or I should buy, or anything like that? Please let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I hope you did enjoy, guys. I hope you're really well, and yeah, go out, enjoy yourself a day and watch some 4K discs. So yeah, peace out, and goodbye.